funny.
I have one job.
Here you go. Hello and welcome to the Women's Cave.
You will not believe this, you guys. Jade is over there laughing because I literally have one job.
Oh yeah, wait. I'm Jade, by the way. That's
Hey,
excited.
I introduced you.
At the beginning. At the beginning. High five. Oh my goodness. We never remember. This is exciting. We're getting better. We're gonna be professional one day.
Don't say such stuff.
I'm dancing.
I was about to ask for cake. Will anyone on the crew like to get me some cake to celebrate this thing?
That's a lie. And so, Winona.
Yeah.
I'm just telling people who you are. Winona.
Oh, I am Winona. I thought, no, I didn't even. Yeah, right. I'm Winona, the narcissistic one.
That just
who
happened.
forgot to introduce her own self. Right.
Wow. So anyway.
Yeah,
welcome to the Women's Cave. And it did just happen. It would just.
Shut up.
It's hilarious. What was I going to say? Now I forgot.
Now
I was laughing at you.
We are the authors of
the And I Thought series. And we are the And I Thought ladies, co-authors, co-founders, co-everything, and the wonderful not guest, that's ridiculous, host of the Women's Cave. And we, written with 11 other beautiful, wonderful ladies.
Do you want me to do this today?
Yes,
because obviously, I can't push your button, but I can introduce us correctly. Oh yeah, Shay. Just wanted to let you know. And then look, you guys. As a Willism,
it just got shady over here and cold.
Really, as a Willism, I think that we should start doing this, and we should start shade. Y'all should catch it up. Shade.
No,
you should catch on.
Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do it. Anyway, so we wrote these wonderful titles. And I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons, and I thought being grown up was easy. And what?
Go. And I thought being grown up was easy.
I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons, and I thought being grown up was easy. Well, how did I say the wrong title?
The whole title with other life lessons.
Okay,
Dang, she went in. And I thought I did my journey alone.
And I thought I could juggle it all, and I thought I had it all figured out. A fiction episode one, which when you think you have life all figured out, that's when life goes and throws everything at you.
Okay, so quickly, I should probably mention my stuff. Yes, narcissism. Me wants to mention my stuff. Okay. We also have a docuseries coming up on Just Right in Life, so check it out on Roku TV. And if we can, we'll try to get it on other mediums, and we'll also be on YouTube. Of course, you can always catch everything we do on the YouTube. You can also buy our books at Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, and WeThoughts.com. I feel like going, game show.
Go. Okay, I'm done.
And if you go to EnvyThought.com and buy it there, you win a lovely doctor script from us, because I don't do chicken scratch. And I'll have your message in it. Anyway, we should get around to doing something useful today.
Oh, I was going to say, and also anything that's going to happen with Just Right in Life, you can always check out your ladies at andwethought.com. But you guys aren't here to hear about us and what we've done. You're here to hear about our wonderful guest. Our wonderful guest is so wonderful today.
She's amazing. She's famous.
She is.
She goes on.
She's
like
me. New York. She's like me when I grow up. I'm gonna be like when I grow up. Okay, anyway.
I'm gonna rock a hoodie and everything like this.
Yes.
Because non-famous people gotta get dressed up. Famous people don't. Okay, wonderful guest.
Oh yes, our wonderful guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh well, hello, ladies, and I'm British, so I'm just not as bubbly as you ladies, but I am Joanne Penn. I've written 23 books now. I'm a New York Times and USA Today best-selling thriller author as J.F. Penn, and I also write inspirational non-fiction for authors. I'm British, as I said, and I'm a speaker and a podcaster, and I do lots of things these days.
Okay, you guys, she's being so British and being like, I'm so humble and posh, by the way. Because, to me,
I guess you were listening to that song, Be Humble.
Yeah.
Be Humble.
All British people to me are super posh. It doesn't matter where you live. Of course, if anyone who lives in Chelsea, please introduce me. I'm single.
Okay.
Moving on.
Wow. Then Winona just made the show about her, and it's not about her. It's about our wonderful guest.
I just want to say real quickly, she has one of the top 10 listed podcasters for writers in everywhere. In the world. So that is amazing.
I know, and she wanted to be on our Sunday show, you guys. Can you imagine? I love it. Thank you.
I thought you sounded fun, so I thought I'd come join you.
I should have bought tea today. I feel like I should be drinking tea.
Okay, anyway. We have questions for our wonderful guests. Yeah. We really do. We have questions. 23 books, first and foremost. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there.
We aspire to be you soon.
Yes.
About 18 books from now. Question number 1 we have today.
Okay, so
Jade, go for it.
Most people say that being an author, well, they say it to us and probably say to most authors, is a huge gamble. What made you want to take the risk of being creative as a livelihood?
It's such a great question. And I want to like throw it back to everybody watching and say, what is so secure about one job? And, you know, especially in this turbulent political time. And I say this as somebody, so basically I started writing in 2006. Part-time, I was in corporate, a corporate job, like many people in a cubicle. I was paid very well, but I hated my job. I was miserable, again, like many people. And I felt my creative side, my spiritual side was dying. And then the global financial crisis happened, which I'm sure you will remember, 2008.
I don't know. I might be too young for that.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So 2008, I was, at the top of my corporate career and, had a house, mortgage, proper job, all of that. And then they laid everyone off in one day. So everyone got a piece of paper and we had 3 weeks and then we were out. And I know a lot of people understand that situation. So I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot. And I got another job and all that, but I cannot allow one company to ever control all my income ever again. So at the same time I was writing, and then I had this epiphany, I can't let anyone else control my life. I started to think about how you can be a creative entrepreneur. And so this is the big lesson for everyone. Okay, one book. You can't live on one book. You ladies know you can't live on 3 books. It's actually quite, even at 23 books, it's still not a great living. So you have to actually look at the other things you can do. So teaching, I know you ladies know about, teaching about self-publishing or speaking, different ways you can monetize your website or your podcast. So I have multiple streams of income. And at this point, I left my job in 2011, but at that point it wasn't a risk because I had by then around 20 different forms of income coming in from different places, all of them much smaller than I used to make in my one job. But when you think about risk, I want people to think, okay, what is more risky? One income or lots and lots of little bits of income? And so that's how I make a living now, is all these multiple streams. And so in 2011, I left my job. So that was 5 years after starting to write my first book. And then my husband left his job in 2015. So we now make this type of creative entrepreneurial career work. But the message I would say to people is think about, how do you make those multiple streams of income?
I'm sorry, I'm going to overtalk the
Yes, do that.
So I'm just going to say I absolutely 110% agree. I have never in my life had one job, ever, because I just see so many people when that one job falls apart, like they have nothing else to do. And it kind of depresses me. And I tell people, this is why you always, I don't know, I'm going to say it in very slang. I'm going to say, that's why you always have a side hustle. Because one day, if your main job becomes not anymore, or you get fired, laid off, whatever, you can have something to go back on. At least I have this one thing, these clientele, these people that I can now ask to tell other people about me.
Exactly. I was going to say that I hate to be stereotypical, was such a British breakdown. Like every British person I've met breaks everything down so beautifully. It's like,
it's beautiful, y'all.
Like I'm speaking to an American. Let me break this down. See, there's 6 points.
Well, it's probably
because
it's probably because when you ask people of the like Kansas, what's the capital of the place of Kansas? They be like, I don't know, where's Kansas? So anyway, I'm done.
Whole conversation with another podcaster over there. So yes, and thank you so much for pointing out that 20 different income streams. If you think about it, it's like diversifying your portfolio is what they always say. Never put everything in tech, never put everything in just, oh my goodness, every stock thing just fell out my head now.
So never in bonds, all in tech, all in like just regular market things.
Yeah, so never
oil,
do that.
whatever.
You can say it with your bank accounts, go to different banks. And so of course, if you want to have a secure existence, you should have different income streams. I don't know why we don't think of that. I don't even know why.
Well, I think it's probably that most people who are writing a book don't think about that because they don't think that writing a book can be a living, as your question implied. Everybody thinks it's much more risky to be a creative than to have a steady corporate job, right? I mean, your mum and your dad want you to have a steady corporate job, and and I'm like, well, I'm paying more taxes now than I ever paid in my corporate job. So, I mean, come on. So, but I think the mindset shift for authors is, what do you really want? And this is it. I know you're going to ask me some more questions, but I want to come back to this. So important is, what do you want? Now, I wanted my side hustle as a writer to become my main stream of income. Now, many writers don't want that. Many writers have one book in them, or it's a passion project, or they write poetry, which we know will never make any money. And so if you're that type of person, then awesome, write your book. Don't expect that to become your income. But if you do want that side hustle to make yourself a six-figure income, which I know many authors with six-figure income, some with more, and that comes from multiple books, selling on multiple platforms, selling all over the world, which we can do as self-published authors. It's a very exciting time. The UK is a big book market, by the way. It's not just America.
A lot.
Yeah, so it's an exciting time. And I think the other thing that's really important is the world has changed since, the Kindle this year. I don't know if you know this, but this year, 2017, is the 10-year anniversary of the Kindle and the iPhone.
Yeah.
Think what was life like before the iPhone and the Kindle?
I mean, know what it was like in the literary world. I've been around since I was 10. It was rough. I can't believe it.
Don't admit that, girl. Somebody might think you old.
Oh,
yeah. I don't remember that. And you look like 20 years younger than me. But I think this is really important, because it used to be that, like you said, in traditional publishing, you had to get your agent and the publisher and wait years. I just, uploaded a book yesterday and it was live, and the Kindle book's there, and I'll get some money for it, in 60 days time. So this is the thing. The world has changed. And now we can make a living, whereas before it was very, very hard. And the people who are most suffering right now in author world are the people who are still sort of latched on to traditional publishing in the mid-list. The people at the top are fine, but the mid-list, that's why so many authors are going indie with their books. So it's an exciting time we live in.
Yeah, and that's also, never mind, go ahead.
No, it is.
And all right, we're going to ask question number two. I'm going to ask another question. So you are an expert on self-publishing, and my mouth refuses to work today. And your podcast is listed as like one of the top 10 helpful podcasts. So what do you feel every author should know before stepping into the literary arena?
Yeah, so I think I love that you use the word literary arena. That's just lovely.
It feels like you step in here and you're like, I'm a gladiator now. I got to take everybody down.
Not everybody. Okay. Not like that. We mean like in the masses.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think, and actually it's a really good point. I think that the author community now is very collaborative, and the podcasting community, this is all about sharing, and there isn't a finite number of readers out there. That it is growing all the time. But in terms of what I think people should know, coming back to what I was saying earlier, you need to consider your definition of success. This is so important, and people get it wrong all the time. So for example, if you are writing a literary novel that's taken you 10 years to write, and all you want is an agent and a traditional publishing deal and to win a literary prize, then awesome, go for it. But don't expect to make any money from it. Versus if you want to, say, make six figures, as I did, I was like, I like my lifestyle with this nice corporate job. My aim is to have that lifestyle, but doing something I love. Mm-hmm. And I knew, therefore, I had to look at the books that people actually want to read. And that is generally genre fiction. So romance, mystery, thriller, sci-fi, fantasy, the books that many in the literary world consider to be kind of beneath them. Yeah, and also self-help. So you ladies, the And I Thought series, that's right. I think, yeah.
Thank you for getting Thank you for getting it right. Like, thank you.
Well, there's an idea for you, and I thought it was easy to be an author. I mean, it's not easy. There are things that we have to do. So when the most disappointed authors I know are the ones that haven't thought about their definition of success. So, for example, they write that literary novel, or they write poetry and then think they're going to make money from it, or they self-publish one book and then they make no money from it, or they, forget that this is a business. So this is probably the other thing. Again, if you want to be successful, you have to learn marketing. And this is whether you are traditionally published or self-published, it doesn't matter. You have to learn marketing. And I say that as someone who has a degree in theology, learned about religion early on. I don't have a degree in marketing. I've learned this. I don't know about you ladies. Have you got degrees in marketing, or have you learned all this? Exactly. So we learn as we've learned how to write better, we also have to learn how to market. We have to learn to self-publish if we want to do that. We have to learn how to do things like podcasting. I hated this originally. I would not go on screen back in 2008. I hated my voice. All of this, you have to learn to live with it if this is what you want. And that is the most important thing. And if you want it, then go and get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I'm going to be a little narcissistic. I'm taking it from Winona today. Thank you. Love it all. Thank you. I have Winona now. Okay, because that is what our Just Writing Life docuseries is actually about. It's not about maybe so much as the writing process, but all the other stuff you have to do to get your name out there. Because I think that in this world, people think, writers, you just write and then that's it. And then you're going to send your book out into the world and it's going to be beautiful. That's just a lie. I mean, unless you have like a YouTube following or you're rich or something, you can buy all your own books and make it a bestseller. I don't know. But most of the time you have to market and go places and do things and get out from behind your computer, or like even if you are behind your computer, you're still talking to the masses.
Yeah. And I think I just want to say, I'm an introvert, and I think many authors are, which is people who like being on their own and, like writing and like doing all the quiet things. So doing this kind of stuff, like I said, I had to push myself out of my comfort zone. And but that's what you do if you want to make an impression. And people, how much stuff is there looking for our attention? If people go on YouTube, like you say, and what you want is, so some people watching this are going to look at you ladies or look at me and go, oh yeah, like I like what they're saying, I'm going to keep watching, or they're just going to switch channel. Whatever, and that's what we need to do. If we don't put ourselves out there, how do people know whether they want our book or want to listen to us? And I think that would be what I say to people is, doesn't matter what you look like or, anything. There are people out there who are interested in you as a person. So start sharing about your real life and you will attract people to you. And, as I say that as someone who's now 11 years into the author journey, I started off with no one following me, nobody reading my stuff, nobody listening to my podcast. And now things are very different. It just takes time and consistency for a long time. But hey, what else do you want to do with your life?
Right. Absolutely.
And I mean, if you really think about it, you're really going to do the same thing at a corporate job. You're just going to keep putting in time, and it's going to be consistent because that's your job. And therefore, there's a job description to tell you what you're doing every day for the rest of your life. I also wanted to say that you were right about putting things out there and have people talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, I as I said, I started at a young age. So we were fortunate when we did come up with the End I Thought series, because I had started at a young age and had like 30 books before this. Like I actually had an audience. So we got to use some of that audience, but not a lot. Because it's a complete gin for John. You're right. I write serious thriller stuff and thriller, suspense, mystery.
Oh, cool.
We write about self-help. So they look at the book and they were like, there is not a gun in here anywhere. And then put it down.
Do you use, no, I'm really interested. So do you use the same name for your thrillers?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay, and this is something interesting. So I use two different names. I use J.F. Penn for my thrillers and Joanne Penn for my nonfiction, mainly because the audience is so different. And, that actually, I've got two different websites, two different, email lists. The whole thing is quite difficult. But I think when people are thinking about the genre thing, it is about considering the audience and really thinking about, okay, in 10 years' time, who do I want to be? You're obviously on this path of guru of the And I Thought series.
I don't know if we're going to be gurus. I think that we're going to be like, yes, we're 10 years older, but we're still only 25. Only 25. Yes, we've aged 2 years. I just wanted to know what it felt like to be a bestseller, and then how did you celebrate? I mean, literally, I just want to know.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about this because something happened in the last week or so. I've been nominated not nominated, I'm a finalist in the International Thriller Writers Award for best for my book Destroyer of Worlds. And what's so funny is I'm so thrilled. It is the highlight of things. Becoming a bestseller absolutely meant nothing. And it's really weird because I think it's quite important to say that. There's a really good book by Elizabeth Gilbert called Big Magic. which I think all creatives should read, because you remember Eat, Pray, Love. I don't know if you're old enough, but
I remember the movie.
I remember.
Yeah. Okay. She made, probably billions, but she made certainly multi-millions from that book. And people said to her, how does it feel to be at the highest point in your career and know it's all downhill from here, because no book you ever write will be that big again? And she said, well, you've got to enjoy the creative process. You've got to just get back to the page. And for me, it's been the same thing. Like the New York Times, the USA Today, it's like, yay, okay, great, tick. And then like the next hour, someone else is a bestseller. And it's very fleeting. It's like, and I don't want to sort of undercut that in any way. I know it's important to a lot of people, but what is far more important is loving what we do, because inevitably, like Amazon ratings, for example, Amazon ratings change every hour. If you make number one on Amazon, someone's going to overtake you pretty quick, unless you're JK Rowling. So this is the thing. I think as authors, we can get too het up in the other things and forget that the whole point is, and I've got it on my wall here next to me, have you made art today? And are you building a body of work that you're going to be proud of for the rest of your life? And so I try and come back to that, with being a finalist in this award, I'm like, look, it's okay if you don't win, although I'm going to win, right?
Yeah, you're going to win. And then we're going to change the thing and say, winner of
award winning. But and I want to be award winning, and I want to have these levels of achievement in my author career. But what we've got I keep coming back to Elizabeth Gilbert, because it's unlikely that any of us will ever earn the amount of money or have the fame that she had for that small period of time, and even if we did, like she said, you have to just keep coming back to the reason why you're doing this. What is your definition of true success? Is it, look, I made this, not this pen, obviously, but I made this book, and to feel the satisfaction of creating something that someone else either gets pleasure from or learns from, and it might change their life. So, yay, I do break open the champagne, but then I get back to writing, and that keeps me sane. I also think there's an amount of creative dissatisfaction that keeps us writing. Like if you just have one book and you're happy with it, awesome. But most of us finish a book and we're like, I think I'll write another one because I'm going to do something different this time. And so we're never going to be happy. And that's why this is a great life for people who have this kind of brain. They want to do new things because we can always improve. This is a journey of a lifetime. You're nodding there, Wilnona. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, she says you're nodding, Wilnona, and Jed goes, hey, I'm the narcissist.
I'm the narcissist. I mean, I absolutely agree. It was really funny because when we wrote And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons, yes, I said that whole title. And somebody, we were on an interview and someone said, well,
in the UK,
in the UK, it was really funny. And she says, well, aren't you gonna write another book? We were like, oh no, we think this is it. We just wrote this book, and the ladies were so awesome that had come along with us on this journey, blah blah blah. And then 4 books later, we're like, oh, maybe you were right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's funny, every time we contact her and we're like, all right, we wrote a new book, do you have space for us on your radio show? And she's like, I told you were going to write a new book. And I was like, no, this time it's the last one. It really is. And then when we contacted her the next time, she's like, you wrote a new book? Yeah, we wrote a new book. So, anyway, it just keeps going and going. I think we're actually at a good pause spot now.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're really happy about that. I guess I should probably ask another question at some point, so we could actually keep going and you don't have to sit here all day.
Yes, with us.
And so we're talking about writing. We can do this all day. So you were recently on tour, which I'm jealous of, by the way. Just wanted to let you know that. So what is life like after having notoriety for your work? And as like one of my favorites, I have a B question to this. Can you give us a glimpse into the daily life of Miss Penn?
Yeah, so it's funny when you say on tour, it's a very traditional publishing thing, because I was, because I'm indie, so self-published independent author. So all my traveling is book research. So I was in New Orleans with a whole load of other authors, and we co-wrote a book together. So we got the train from Chicago to New Orleans, plotted the book, and then wrote it in a week in New Orleans. And I did things like airboating and kayaking in the bayou and all of that. It was really fun. And And so this can also give you a sort of a glimpse into the day, because what I basically did every morning, it was great because I had jet lag. So I was up really early. I was up at like 4:30, 5 a.m. and I would go to a Starbucks. Now, you know, whatever people think of Starbucks, they have a blooming good Wi-Fi and they're pretty much everywhere and they look the same. So it's not exciting. You know, so I would get to the Starbucks by like 6 a.m. I would write for 3 or 4 hours. So I would, you know, I have my black coffee. I have like, in America you have such big portions. I'd get these massive coffees, and then that's the same here. And then in the afternoon I was doing tourism things around the French Quarter and the graveyards and all that. So I was on tour in terms of I was writing, I was also researching. Last year I went to Israel, did a research trip there. So everything I do, I travel for research and I put that into my books. Very good for tax deductibility of travel.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just did our taxes here. Yeah, it is. It's
same here. But that's the thing. So when you say on tour, I pretty much decide where I'm going to go. But people don't know who I am. I don't think there's any notoriety. You know, it's even Lee Child, you know, probably the #1 thriller writer in the world, says 99.99999% of the world does not know who Lee Child is. So it's not so much like that. You know, I do events around different places. Sometimes I send an email to my list, and that's why it's good to build up an international audience through your website, your email list, that type of thing. But my day back here, so today, it's a pretty similar day. So I got up early. I write at a cafe. So I do my creative time in the morning. I have these awesome, this is probably the best purchase ever. They're in a little packet, but the Bose noise cancelling headphones, and I play rain. So I just play rain and thunderstorms, and I sit in the cafe and I write. And then in the afternoon, you know, it's the afternoon in Britain now, I do my marketing, I do my admin, the emails. You ladies know, I mean, authors get a lot of email. So all the admin stuff, all the marketing stuff I do in the afternoon, all the creative stuff I do in the morning, and that's pretty much my routine.
Oh, nice.
That is so...
I have a question off the subject. It's not even really off the subject. First and foremost, when we go over to the UK, we always have the problem of jet lag. How do you have jet lag coming over here? You guys are like 5 hours ahead of us. I mean, like the last time we got off the plane and we had to go straight to dinner with this person for our interview, and then we had to go meet other celebs, and it was like, how do you do this? How can you have jet lag?
Well, jet lag is just how your body, the fact that your body is on a different time zone, right? Mm-hmm. So when I fly into America and I arrive and it's 8 p.m. in the evening, in my body, it's like 2 a.m.
Right.
So I get jet lag the other way. And when I flew back, I was a week in New Orleans and I got used to your time zone, and I got back and I couldn't get to sleep until about 2 a.m, because 2 a.m. here is like, you know, 8 p.m. in New Orleans. So, and you know, that's just what jet lag is. It just where is your body at the time, and has your body caught up with where the hell you just flew from?
Jade said the exact same thing, because we were on tour for almost a year, and so when she got home last month, I think we really like stopped and we stopped being on tour. She woke up and she was like, "What time zone I am? Where am I? Who?" Does the manager have the schedule? Has she knocked on the door yet? And I was like, we're home for like 3 months. Oh, great. She's so excited. I'm like, I'm kicked off.
It is so wonderful to be able to sleep. It is great. But another question for you, because I know we're going to have to wrap up soon. Okay, so it's going to be like a 3-part question. I think because she wrote this question.
Yes, I did.
So it's a 3-part question. What are the highest moments in your career, and why were they better than your other accomplishments? How did you overcome your most challenging and lowest moments? And what lessons have you learned?
From both.
That's a lot of questions.
Her favorites are the exact same way. That's why we call them Willisms. Like, she'll be like, I have a favorite. And she'll say it's one favorite, but she has a part A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. Okay. I think we've talked about the highest point so far is actually in this last month getting nominated for this, being a finalist, in this award. And the reason that matters is because it's judged by other thriller writers. So it's a mark of my writing rather than everyone says, oh, it's all right for you. You're good at marketing and business. That's why you're a successful author. And I'm like, well, actually, I write quite good books as well.
Yeah.
So you know,
some lady came to us and she was like, "Oh, it's because you're young and you're pretty."
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then she read our book, and I was like, what? It's not because I'm young and pretty no more, right? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell your story.
Yeah. Exactly. And this is, so people will always say things about other reasons why you're successful. But the fact is we do the work, right? And, you know, I'm really thrilled that my thriller has been, you know, sort of judged as good by other thriller writers. It's got nothing to do with sales or how I publish or my marketing ability or anything like that, or what I look like. It's just on the book. So that's kind of really awesome. In terms of dealing with disappointment, I think, again, it comes back to that reason why are you doing this? And sometimes when, you know, I love this is the other thing, being a self-published author, being an independent author, you have to love everything. Like if you don't love the marketing, like doing this, meeting you ladies, or answering emails, or, you know, learning new things like Facebook advertising or Amazon advertising, you know, the things we have to learn as well as becoming a better writer. Like, for example, I've got this afternoon, I'm going to do a masterclass by Shonda Rhimes, you know, who did Grey's Anatomy.
You gotta
yes.
Tell me how it is.
Oh,
so like I've signed up for it 3
amazing.
times, and I was like, I'm not committing because I might not.
I'm really looking forward to it. So that's an example of investing in my creative side, you know, of becoming a better writer, a better storyteller, but also you have to invest in your business side. You have to learn about these other things.
Right.
So, so in terms of the overcoming the lowest points, I think it's understanding that we all go through the same thing. So, you know, when I finish a book, I feel empty. I feel like I can never write a book again. I feel chronic self-doubt. I feel disillusioned. I'm depressed. We all feel that. And it's understanding that that's a cycle, the creative cycle, that is part of it. The frustration, I never want to look at this book again. You know, all this stuff is all normal. And I actually wrote a book called The Successful Author Mindset, where I bear my journals for the last 10 years and the things that I wrote when I was in my kind of darkest moments. So yeah, my biggest lessons, I think, there are, understand that we all go through this, the self-doubt, all of that. And then also always come back to your why. So if I'm going through a bad day, and it doesn't happen very often, one, I go to sleep. Sleeping always helps. But two, it's to like, do I want to go back to my day job? Like, no, I definitely don't. So step away from the computer, step away from the news and social media, and go for a walk, and then go, okay, why am I doing this? It's because I want to measure my life by what I create. And that's why I do this. So come back to, why are you doing this?
Exactly.
Wow. That is amazing.
I think that's just like perfect.
Where can we find you online?
Thank you. So I'm at thecreativepenn.com, and that's pen with a double N. And my podcast is there, and I have a YouTube channel as well, The Creative Penn with a double N. And my fiction is jfpenn.com, F for Francis. But yeah, if you search Joanne Penn on the internet, you'll find me.
She says that, 99.99% of the world, as Lee Child said, doesn't know who they authors are. I have to disagree, because you type in Joanna and Penn and she's everywhere. So I just know who you are.
Oh, excellent. Now, and I know who you are, so that's all good.
Oh my goodness, it's been a blast having you.
It has been a blast. And thank you, Ms. Penn, for joining us. As we said, we are the And I Thought ladies. Well, 2 of the 11. Or maybe 14. Depends on how this other book comes out.
Yes. We've been picking up authors, like, I was going to go with a horrible metaphor.
We've been picking up authors a lot. And it's really great, because this new book is going to be kind of fun. And I Thought He Was the One. Yes, you guys, I know I've been promising it to you for a very long time, but you really want us to have the best book we can. And these other authors we picked up seem like they're going to really help us and finish this book.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But also, before we wrap up, I'd like to remind you once again, Just Right in Life is going to be on Roku and our YouTube channel, and it'll premiere with the extended trailer on April the 30th.
And who knows, you guys, we might even put a little bit on the podcast. Hopefully.
Yes, possibly.
Hopefully.
And if you podcasters, just go look at it on the videos.
Yeah,
please.
Oh yeah, and subscribe to our channel if you want to. Because you know what? I forget all the time. Y'all know I forget. I mean, like what?
Since you did the thing that you remember, can I do the thing that I remember?
Okay, fine.
Okay, and we'll make it really fast. So, guys, I always want to remind you that we do have a heart as well. So we have ScarlettOurBlack.com, which is the Survivors of Domestic Abuse program. Please go check it out and support that program as much as you possibly can. It does some really great work. Moving back to wrapping us up, Jay.
Okay, so as always, you can find your ladies on andwethought.com, our books on amazon.com, barnesandnoble.com. And just remember, you guys, that wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it.
She got it right. High five.
Woo!
So peace and love from Jade
and Winona.
Bye-bye,
you guys.